I stopped lying to myself. I stopped waiting to feel completely brave enough to fix my life, and I just opened chapter 1. Welcome to day 1 of 100. Back in January, I remember promising myself that I would read more this year, and that included non-fictional books. I promised myself that I was going to go for motivational books, self-help books, personal development books, and all those kind of books. It is now June, and I am just picking up the damn book. But we're not going to dwell on delay today. We're going to dwell on the fact that I actually started. I asked an acquaintance who was well versed in this type of books for a recommendation, and he recommended that I read Do It Afraid by Joss Meyer. Honestly, considering how terrified and dissatisfied I have been with the quality of my life lately, that title felt a little bit too loud to ignore. I've read chapter 1 and chapter 2 so far, and I need to share what I learned, cause it totally hit me like a complete reality check. Like, this is the state of my life right now. In the first 2 chapters, the biggest revelation that stuck to me was that we do not completely understand how fear works. Fear is an illusion. It only exists on the mind. Fear is rooted in the lies that the devil tells us. Then in the book, I think in chapter 1, they describe fear as an acronym, and that acronym means false evidence appearing real. Because that's actually what it means. False evidence appearing real. Fear is everywhere and it affects everyone, and fear has been in existence since the beginning of time, and it will continue to be in existence as long as Earth remains. So now, I want you to ask yourself a question. You are living a life, just one life. You have one life. Now, are you going to live that whole life in fear? Because fear is always in existence. Fear is always in existence. It's something that never disappears. It is always in existence. Now, are you going to live your whole life in fear, or you are going to stand up and say, okay, no, I'm not going to let fear control my life anymore? Then we are made to understand also that courage is not the absence of fear. It is simply moving forward even in the presence of fear. There are 2 paths you can walk, faith or fear. It is impossible to simultaneously walk in faith and in fear. It's just like you trust God, but you don't trust God. Then the book goes on to say that if you are allowing fear to rule your life or your decisions, then you are missing out on a good life. That each time fear knocks on the door, we should send faith to answer the door. The thing is that we can conquer fear, but the only way we can conquer fear is by faith or through faith. Now, we should know that anytime we want to do something, take a major decision or just do something, and we hear that voice telling us we can't, that voice is the devil. And then we should always know that there is another side to it, and the person on the other side is God, and God is on the other side telling us, that we can do it. Even though we may feel fear, we should move forward in faith. Let's take the story of Peter walking on water, for example. When Peter saw Jesus walking on water, he was like, how is he doing it? I want to do it too. So you see, there was a bit of courage. There was courage. Even though there was courage, there was still some sort of fear in him. But courage is the ability to move even in the presence of fear. So he moved forward and he was walking on water until he began to look around, and he saw the raging storm and the crashing waves, and everything was just so heavy. And then he lost focus on Jesus. He stopped looking at Jesus and started looking around. Then he became frightened and let fear take over. So it's not that fear completely disappears. It is there just waiting for you. If you do not let courage to be the one in charge, then fear would be the one in charge. At that moment when he lost focus on Jesus, he began to sink inside the water. But this story taught me something. It taught me that in the midst of everything that we are doing, we should always focus our gaze on Jesus. We should make sure that we are putting Jesus at the center and we do not take away our gaze from him. Because just like Peter, once we take away our gaze from him, we become frightened and we let fear to come in. Faith mixed with a lot of fear and self-reliance is not faith, and it does not work. Then we tell ourselves that, okay, once this anxiety stops, or once I gain a whole lot of confidence, I'll finally start creating or start doing whatever I want to do. But it does not work that way, because if you are waiting for the fear to completely go away, it does not go away. Tips on how to overcome fear or break through fear. And then the first one, I actually have a list, you guys, so I might be reading from it. So we have, you don't wait for fear to vanish, you do it afraid. This is basically what I've been saying since. Fear will not vanish, you just do it. Just plunge your head into what you want to do and start doing it. Then we have, fear is just a feeling, but obedience and taking actions are choices. Fear is just a feeling, but obedience and taking actions are choices. Fear is just a feeling, but when you obey, okay, God is leading you to do this thing. When you obey and you take action, you do something. It's not just by feeling it, you do something. That's a way to break through out of fear. Then we have, the thing is, we have number 3, the fear may never leave. If you keep on waiting for the fear to leave, the fear will, not even me, the fear will not leave. Then we have, waiting for confidence before you start or do anything is a trap. That confidence will never come. Just, you have to start it first. Then the confidence would come along. Stop lying to myself and stop waiting to feel brave enough before I start doing what I want to do. And I'm going to be documenting my entire transformation process. I know that I want more out of life than what I am currently living in. So this is your sign. If there's a book, a creative project, a habit, or something you've been wanting to do since January, but you keep on putting it off due to fear or any other reason, stop waiting for the fear to go away and pick up the damn book. Pick up the damn phone and set up your camera and start filming. Just do it afraid. Do it afraid. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye.